Hello, esteemed ladies and gentlemen of the Board of Directors. Good afternoon. I called you for this meeting here so we can discuss an overview of one of our competitors, which is Google, and their service, Google Fi, and how it works and how it may affect us as a company and as a collective enterprise going forward. So I would share a screen and we go into details. So we all know Verizon Wireless is an esteemed company, and we are the leaders in wireless network carriers. And as big as we are, or as considerably big our enterprise is, we would not want to slip up and let competitors take our position. Now, Google Fi, introducing Google Fi. Google Fi is a telecommunications service and wireless network carrier. It's like a two-in-one, owned and managed by Google. Now, it provides data services on two main mobile network platforms within the United States, and they're considerably big. They are T-Mobile, the US Cellular. They used to have a deal with Sprint, but as we all know, Sprint was acquired by T-Mobile, and they make use of Wi-Fi to make calls, send texts, and depending on the availability on these networks, they have sort of like a diversified option, and that makes things sort of like easier for them to switch. So Google Fi is on an MNVO network, which means it relies or gets its source from other networks, like I said. Now, moving on, we'll sort of do like a SWOT comparison analysis between Verizon Wireless and Google Fi. The leading wireless service providers in the US, we need no introduction. But like I said, when you're at the top, there's nowhere to go but down. So Google Fi is a wireless network and a telecom service. We use a CDMA-based wireless network, and they use an MNVO, which means they're more diversified in terms of range of networks. Now that's a problem, and you know they have a variety that we are not offering, so that is a problem. And another problem I would say is the pricing system. They have a comparatively more affordable pricing system than ours. As you know, we used to tally on the unlimited plans we provided, but recently they've stepped up their game a little by reducing the price, and Google Fi's unlimited plan, the new one, simply undercuts Verizon with $60 as their starting point. And once you add a second line, you're looking at maybe $45 per month. And that is something, you know, as it goes, as you're adding more lines, as you're adding a fourth and third line, it goes lower. So that's a huge problem. And although we have coverage in more countries and 185, they also have coverage in about 170 countries, and they offer better 5G network coverage. As we know, T-Mobile, which they are affiliated with, has the leading 5G network coverage in the whole of the United States. But we offer better coverage when it comes to rural areas. And that's something we got to watch out for going forward. Now, there are a lot of talk also about Google Fi being a more a more relatable option for the consumers, because especially the ones migrating and moving from place to place, we have a limited scope in that field, because if someone is traveling to another country where we don't provide network, it's going to be a problem. But Google is going to use their servers, and they're a more viable option for people traveling around. I would also like to, Verizon has a better coverage, but even though we offer the most reliable 4G LTE covering like 98% of the Americans, we provide 20 times faster. Our 5G provides 20 times faster than the 4G LTE, but still we're not the best in 5G coverage. And that is something we have to look at going forward. Meaning that Google Fi is an MNVO doesn't mean it doesn't have its own network, but instead it piggybacks off other networks. So, which means they obviously have an advantage in the 5G coverage area. Now, let's talk about some strategies we can use against Google Fi to ensure our place. Now, we need to collaborate with smaller network operators and increase our outreach, just like T-Mobile did with Sprint. We have to do something like that. And these smaller networks are easy to negotiate with because they have a lot to gain from working with us. And we also need to expand our target market in areas we've not really explored, like Africa and some parts of Australia. Also, we need to have continuous development of our engagement strategies, which has brought us this far. And also our 5G network, we have to work on that and make it even more efficient and make it a more viable option for the consumers. Also, we can talk about our pricing system and find a way to adjust it at least till we beat the target market. So, if there's any question, any inquiries about what we need to do this coming weeks to compete against Google Fi, I would like to hear them now, or any contributions. And if not, I hope we can start work on this, and I hope everybody's on the same page. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening.